Okay, so yesterday we went with Toda to Stamate. Quite well off in the days of communist regime. Architects. So I'm thinking, what projects were they making? Well, it's also true, instead of being suspicious, well, nomenclatura, maybe they had some combinations, some connections. Instead of thinking along that path, maybe one not maybe must be a merit finder, not a fault finder. So, taking a positive view, these were people who were what was that called? I don't know if independent contractors, but something along these lines. Maybe the word will come. I don't have it in our own tongue. However, splendid house, good standard of living. They had a video and movies. So this is where we had some film sessions, if we film screenings, and that was something. Let me say something about the one across the street. As I said, a rather special area, and this is the richest guy I met in under communism. Um, the son of the head of the Union of Writers, who took us to Sinaia with Marius, I don't know, about 15, 20 episodes ago, maybe more, was probably rich, but also very likely not that rich. And anyway, he couldn't, if he had the wealth, he couldn't show it. This was a peculiar situation, because this family was very, very rich, and they could show it. Why? Because they worked in one of those rare things in the totalitarian regime, a cooperative. So basically, everything was, in theory, shared together, property, common property. Okay, state farms, cooperative farms in agriculture were something different. Let's not complicate this thing here, because we're not talking economics. So let me try and reassess what I'm saying and not get into the details. However, so he was in those gray areas where he could do things in a workshop. I don't know what he did. Something for bottles, something for chairs, something for motherfucking communists. let's let's not get into that, and just say whatever he did, he had some sort of approval. He worked not in a communist factory as a director, so then the fortune was bribery, like there's some guy not far from here. But again, let's not digress. I mean, they made the fortune working in the state sector, and they should work for 629 years to justify what they have. But there it is. This one, though, could open the books and say, I made so many buttons, I don't know, I made so many supports for chairs, and this is the money, because I paid this much tax. So he had a Mercedes car. We took a ride in the neighborhood, actually, and I think there's this young prick, son of the mogul of the Maharaja of buttons or bottles, or what have you, or both. And I think, or maybe I'm inventing, we were stopped by the police, but he said I'm the son of this big shot, and maybe probably arranged a bribe. I shouldn't elaborate too much, because it's not clear here. It's again gray. Maybe some of this happened, maybe not with this guy. And why am I insisting on this? Because it's not so important. He's important as an element of richness, as a spoiled guy with women around and in his company most of the time, and unsophisticated, to say the least, a bit dim. Dan Samata was another thing. Dan Samata, may he rest in peace, because I understand he had a car accident and he died. I guess that was it. Car accident. I mean, he was a strong, tall. I mean, maybe one head taller than me. Or I'm exaggerating again now. And there's smoke. I hope nothing is on fire, and then we have to be careful because these guys will be very sensitive to, the canary in the coal mine thing. The bird is very sensitive when it dies, and then the miners would know that they're also in danger. Even if they didn't feel it, they can see the bird yet. So anyway, to make this brief, maybe shorter than usual. So Dan Stamata was well read. He was the cousin, maybe not the cousin of Toda, but of his wife. There was a relation there anyway. Two fighter jets just passed. I hope they're not Russian, and they're not going to escort. Wow. What has it started? They're celebrating something. It's what? Bastille Day was the day before yesterday. Whatever. So yeah. And smart. He was the boyfriend of a girl who would become later. I mean, she was how many? 4 years ago. She was the Minister of Justice, Raluca Plum. Let's say. Let's not give her a real name, even if who's watching. Again, it's such an advantage. I can say this, and then nobody will say, "Oh, wow, so you know that she's a swell girl," or "Oh, that she was." I'm with a red plague, so I don't like the opposition and so on. And in fact, at one point, I was benefiting from videotapes from this girl. So knowing her through Dan Stamate and knowing him through Adi Toda, I'm thinking. Once in a while I would go to her, to her parents' flat, which is right across the street from the university, where I was studying as a would-be geologist. And she would give me videotapes, films I would watch. I didn't have much to give in exchange because they had so much and I had almost nothing in terms of interesting titles. The collection was small, maybe 10 tapes I had. I don't know. They were well connected. I think she was getting videotapes from the National Lunatic, Corneliu Vadim Tudor. So many of the other films were actually seen on the first floor of the house, of the Stamate house, which Marius actually rented. I think he became a tenant for the family at one point. And we were going to see the first floor of this nice house. Various movies. This is what I've seen, I guess, my first real horror movie, something like The Evil Dead, or where trees fall and then the man is split in two, or the branch of the tree comes through his chest. And I was so affected by this. It was the first time, and I was maybe a coward, I don't know. I couldn't watch. I was so... And I don't know if scary so much as a combination of scary and disgusting. The green liquid coming from the body, from something. And I looked away from the screen, from the television, whatever they had there. So that was some experience. And I can say I don't like horror movies ever since, but I don't like them.